Hello everybody, welcome to another TikTok Anatomy and Physiology live stream today. Today we are doing the skeletal system for the HESI and undergraduate anatomy and physiology. How's everyone doing today? I hope you guys are all doing fantastic. Hello, hello. I'm featuring a new service button today. All you have to do is hit the orange button down in the bottom left, and basically that helps you get in contact with me to ask more anatomy and physiology questions outside of our live stream today. But hello everybody, welcome in. Welcome in. If you're studying for the HESI or TEAS, the anatomy and physiology portion, or if you're just trying to survive your undergraduate anatomy and physiology accelerated summer course, this is definitely the live stream for you. My name is Ollie, and I have my master's degree in molecular medicine. And I don't, just teach this stuff. I just love helping people understand it in a deeper. I have that service plus button. If you want to reach out to me a little bit, if you need some direction with anatomy and physiology, we're going to do this practice test today. We'll get started here in just a minute. But I also make my notes and study guides. Those are available on my website. I can send you the link to that through that link. It's also just in my TikTok bio as well if you want to go over there. And then I also post all these replays to YouTube as well. If you need the link to that, definitely hit that button down in the bottom left corner as well. Or it's on my page. Again, like I said today, we are going to jump into a skeletal system review. Super important for the HESI and TEAS, and super important for undergraduate anatomy and physiology. The major bones, markings. We have some labeling at the end, just some quick labeling. Just test out, see how it goes. We'll go ahead and get started now, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. We're on number 1 now. Which of the following bones is classified as an irregular bone? Put your answer choice down in the comments. I appreciate if you guys gave the live stream a like as well. It just gets it out to more people. So we can help as many people as possible on their upcoming HESI TEAS and summer anatomy and physiology. But again, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I've been teaching or tutoring anatomy and physiology for about 5 years now. And I post all these replays to YouTube afterwards. I post a bunch of study tips for anatomy and physiology on my TikTok page. And then it all gets uploaded to YouTube, and I have my notes and study guides and one-on-one tutoring. And we're on number 1 now, which asks, which of the following bones is classified as an irregular bone? Thank you for sharing the live. Thanks for liking the live. Thanks for following. I really appreciate it, guys. So number 1, the answer is C. If you got it right, comment a bone emoji if you got it right. The vertebra is an irregular bone because it has a complex shape. It doesn't fit the other categories. Like the humerus would be a long bone. The scapula would be considered a flat bone. But being that it's a long bone, it has a shaft and 2 ends, mainly functioning for the support and movement. The scapula protects organs, and it serves as a muscle attachment. And the femur is also a long bone. It supports in function and movement as well. But like I said, a regular bone would be the vertebrae because of its complex shape. It doesn't fit into those other categories. Moving on to number 2, which component of the bone matrix is responsible for its tensile strength? Drop your comment down with the answer choice, A, B, C, or D. But hello everybody, welcome. Thanks for all the likes on the live. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. I love doing these live streams. And like I said, if you ever want to reach into me, I think I can put out a little... It'll show up there for like 30 seconds, but you can send me a message if you want some extra help in anatomy and physiology. I have it right there for you. But also, we're going to be doing the skeletal system today for HESI and TEAS and undergraduate anatomy and physiology. Tomorrow we'll be doing the integumentary system. We are on number 2 now. Which component of bone matrix is responsible for its tensile strength? Also, I've been working with TikTok on this new service feature, so if it's helpful, let me know. The answer to number 2 is B. It is the collagen fibers. If you got it right, drop a bone down in the comments, bone emoji. Collagen fibers provide its tensile strength, which is going to give its resistance to stretching. The hydroxyapatite is the compressive strength and hardness. Calcium phosphate is going to contribute to The hardness as well. Osteoblasts are going to build up the bone matrix. Moving on to number 3, the epiphyseal plate is primarily made of what? The epiphyseal plate is primarily made of what? Awesome, awesome. For those of you who got it right, awesome, awesome. Drop your answer down in the comments, A, B, C, or D. The epiphyseal plate is primarily made of what? Awesome, just hit 1K likes in the live stream, guys. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for liking the live and participating. This is awesome. The epiphyseal plate is primarily made of hyaline cartilage. Answer choice D. If you got that right, put a bone down in the comments. So the epiphyseal plate is made of hyaline cartilage. They make up the growth plates where this is where our longitudinal bone growth occurs. Compact bone is found in the diaphysis, not the plates. A fibrous connective tissue is more so in our ligaments and our tendons. And the elastic cartilage is our ears and epiglottis. Alrighty. Moving on to number 4. Which of the following cells is responsible for bone resorption? Resorption. Awesome, awesome for those of you who got it right. Love your explanations. Took A&P like 5 years. Awesome, thank you, Maria. Thank you so much. Ollie's the best. No, you're the best. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. It's too kind. You guys are the real best. Alexandrum and Brittany. I know you guys are pretty regulars here. It's always good to see you guys. Oh, thank you for the gift. I appreciate it. Thank you for the lightsaber. Thank you so much. Number 4, the answer is an osteoclast. So osteoclasts break down bone matrix. And when they break down bone. The way I think about it, so C, we talked about clast has a C in it, so it's like chew. When you chew things, you break them down. When you break down bone, what that does is that is going to increase the amount of calcium that you will see in the blood. And remember, osteoblast, B for build, C for chew. Osteocyte is a mature bone cell. Chondrocyte, that's a cartilage cell. So not in bone. If you got that right, put a bone down in the comments. Moving on to number 5, the bone that articulates with the cerebellum is the what? And hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I've been tutoring anatomy and physiology for 5 years now, and I go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology topics that you guys request. I now have TikTok is doing this new thing where they have the service feature. It's down in the bottom left corner. It's like this little orange button. You can send me like a topic request as well. It's just so you don't have to like leave the live stream and stuff, and I can take those and make live streams with them and stuff to help you guys out. But again, I upload these to YouTube afterwards. It's linked in my bio, or hit that orange button if you want me to send you the link to my YouTube. Same with my notes. Hit that button. I can reach out to me. But we're on number 5 now. The bone that articulates with the cerebellum is the what? The answer is C. It is the femur. So the head of the femur is what is going to, so if we have our neck and our head, this area is what that would be. This is going to essentially form our hip joint. These are not the official answers. No, that would be cheating. So we don't do that here. We're just reviewing. This is just review. Sorry, I bumped my tripod. So sorry. If you got it right, put a bone down in the comments. And we're going to move on to number 6 now. Which type of joint allows for the greatest range of motion? I'm confident in myself again. Perfect. No, I definitely want to make you all confident for your exams. Definitely help you review and figure out where you might just be weak in areas and hopefully build that knowledge up. Do I have a link to these questions? Just to review. I do. This one isn't up yet, but I do put all the replays are on YouTube that you can kind of go back at your own pace. answer the questions, and then I have I explain the answers as well. That can be found on my page, or if you send me a message with the service button, I can send you a link to my YouTube as well. But number 6, which type of joint allows for the greatest range of motion? The answer is D. If you got it right, put a bone down in the comments. But the ball and socket joint, the examples of those would be your shoulder and your hip joint, which we just explained in the last question here. They're multi-axial. They have the greatest range. So if you think about it, if you move your arm around, if you move your hip around, you have a lot of range of motion there. Pivot joint allows rotation only. That's your axial joint. It's like in your neck. So when you shift your head left and right. Then your hinge joint, that's going to be more so for like flexion and extension. This is like what is going to be at your, oh my goodness, that's a terrible E, elbow. And then the saddle joint, that's kind of like at your thumb. So my thumb is my saddle joint. It's like biaxial movement. It's very limited compared to the ball and socket though as well. Number 7, the periosteum contains what? Number 7 now, the periosteum contains what? Thanks, yep, no problem. I hope you all are doing well today. Happy, what's today, Wednesday? Yeah, happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome. I hope is anyone in the summer semester right now as well? Are you guys doing your summer semester now? I know the summer semester is so fast-paced. But number 7, the periosteum contains, answer choice B, it is blood vessels and osteoblast. If you got that right, put a bone down in the comments. Awesome for getting it right. So the blood vessels and osteoblast are going to ensure that we are able to nourish our bone and adequately build, again, osteoblast, B for build new bone tissue. This ensures that it, again, nourishes bone and builds new bone tissue. The yellow marrow is in the medullary cavity, not the periosteum. Red marrow and osteocytes, these are particularly in the spongy bone and the lacunae, respectively. And the trabeculae and the chondrocytes, these are the spongy bone as well, and in cartilage, and then plus cartilage. Moving on to number 8, the cribriform plate is part of which bone? Thank you guys for all the follows as well, everybody. Yep, if you want me to, I can, so it'll be on YouTube afterwards for you to go back at your own pace. And awesome, we just hit 3,000 likes on the live, guys. Thank you guys so much for the likes and the lives and sharing. If you guys do like and share the live more, it does get it out to more people, so we can help as many people as possible on anatomy and physiology, Hezi and T's exams, and their undergraduate and their accelerated summer programs and whatnot. But number 8, awesome, guys. Awesome. You guys are killing it. Number 8, the cribriform plate is part of which bone? The answer is C. It is the ethmoid bone. This is essentially going to allow the passage of the olfactory nerves. The phenoid, that's the base of the skull. The temporal is kind of on your sides, where it is more so around you, like it houses the inner ear. And then your maxilla is going to be for your upper jaw. But again, the ethmoid bone has the cribriform plate, and this is essentially allowing passage of olfactory nerves. If you got that right, drop the bone down in the comments. We're going to move on. Number 9, the foramen magnum is located where? In which bone would it be located? How are you all studying for anatomy and physiology? I feel so overwhelmed. The best way to study for anatomy and physiology: anatomy, what things are, flashcards, where things are, practice labeling. Physiology, practice explaining things out loud, all the processes, how stuff works, practice out loud. Awesome, thanks guys for the 4K likes on the live. You guys are incredible. All right, we're going to move on down to number 9. The foramen magnum is located in the occipital bone. Answer choice B. If you got that right, drop the bone. But this contains the foramen magnum. So can anyone tell me, a follow-up question for that one, can anyone tell me what goes through the foramen magnum? So when we're talking about foramen and we're talking about a hole, what goes through that? Anyone tell me what goes through it? Fantastic. It is the spinal cord. Fantastic. Temporal bone, that's more for auditory structures. Sphenoid is to anterior. And the parietal bone, those are the roofs of the skull. So no major forma there. Number 10, which bone is part of our axial skeleton? Which part of the bone is part of our axial skeleton? I'll give you guys a couple seconds to answer that. I hope your guys' summer semester is going well. If you've already started, how's it going? Did you guys start like this week or last? I know some people started yesterday, some people started last week, some people start next week. Thanks for all the follows as well, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Number 10, the answer is the sternum. So again, our axial skeleton is going to consist of our skull, our vertebral column, our ribs, and our sternum. The other three here, these are all going to be part of our appendicular skeleton. So you have your axial skeleton and your appendicular. That's going to be your limbs and like your pelvis area. Number 11, what structure allows osteocytes to communicate with one another? What structure allows osteocytes to communicate with one another? I'm on week 4, 4 more weeks to go. Oh my goodness, week 4 already. Oh geez. What are you guys on right now, Roxy? So how do you pronounce, so it's appendix. It's like, appendix would be like you're saying like, and then pen, like I have my iPad pen, and then, it's, dix, appendix for appendix. I had to be careful with that one. Number 11, the answer is B. If you got it right, drop a bone down in the comments. The caniculi, these are the tiny channels that connect our lacunae for nutrients waste, exchange, communication. Lamellae, these are the rings of the matrix. They're not for communication. The Phrygian canals, these are for carrying blood vessels. Not for direct communication. And then lacunae are what hold osteocytes, but they do not connect them. So osteocytes hold, or house, let's say house. House osteocytes. Moving on to number 12. Which region of the vertebral column contains the smallest vertebrae? Thanks, no problem. Why do the terms sound so funny? It's because they're in a whole other language, man. It's because they're in another language. But round number 12 now. Which region of the vertebral column contains the smallest vertebrae? Fantastic. It is C. It is cervical. Drop a bone down in the comment if you got it right. So cervical are the smallest and the lightest. They are designed for flexibility, so you can move your head around, look left and right, and look. That's designed intelligently for looking around for danger and looking and seeing, using our senses. Thoracic, these are larger and they articulate with the ribs. The lumbar are the largest and they are the strongest. Sacral, those are your fuge. They're very long bones. So these cervical are our smallest. Let's move on to number 13. What type of bone growth occurs in the epiphyseal plate? What type of bone growth occurs in the epiphyseal plate? Thank you guys for 5K likes on the live stream. You guys are awesome. Thanks for liking and sharing. If you guys do like it and share it, it does get it out to more people, just so we can help as many people on their upcoming HESI&Ts exam. We're working on the skeletal system today with the HESI&Ts in mind, but this is also great for, just your undergraduate course, anything that requires anatomy and physiology, or to have you learn the skeletal system. And then I will be going live every single day covering anatomy and physiology as well, so definitely give me a follow. We'll be live every day. I do take requests. Number 13, what type of bone growth occurs at the epiphyseal plate? The answer is B. It is endochondral ossification. Endochondral ossification essentially is where bone replaces the hyaline cartilage. At our growth plate, like we had a question earlier that talked about what type of tissue is at the growth plate. It is the hyaline cartilage, and that's what bone replaces. We got that right. Drop a bone down in the comments. But moving on to number 14, the coronoid process is found on which bone? The coronoid process is found on which bone? And if you need some extra help, if you're missing anything or you're confused on anything, I have that service button down in the bottom left corner. You can reach out to me via DM, and I will be able to answer it following the live stream. Number 14, the coronoid process is found on which bone? The answer is C. It is the ulna. It is the ulna. This is the anterior projection that forms part of the elbow joint. The scapula has a coracoid, not coronoid. And the radius doesn't have the coronoid process. Humerus has a coronoid fossa, not process. Moving on to number 15. What is the role of the trabeculate in spongy bone? What is the role of the trabeculate in spongy bone? I'll give you guys just a moment to answer. 15. The answer is C. They align along stress lines for support. This helps the bone resist the mechanical stress. Storing calcium, that's the function of the matrix. And then that's not trabeculate specifically. Protecting bone marrow, that's not the primary function. And then producing osteoblast, that's in the periosteum and endosteum. Moving on to number 16. Which bone does not contribute to the formation of the orbit? Or orbital wall. These are not the actual questions, no. That would be cheating, so we're not about that. So we have questions here that are similar to questions that are going to be on the exam. So this is going to be a great review for the HESI&Ts and just your undergraduate anatomy and physiology course in general. And it's also been helpful for the MCAT, the DAT, radiology, and whatnot. And I will be going live every single day covering anatomy and physiology as well. I do take requests at the same time, so we can always make sure we're trying to get everybody on par to where they want to be and get their desired grade for anatomy and physiology. But 16, Which bone does not contribute to the formation of the orbit? The answer is B. It is the nasal bone. The nasal bone forms our nose bridge. Lacrimal is part of the medial orbital wall. Zygomatic forms the lateral wall, and the sphenoid forms the back wall of the orbit. Number 17, the anterior fontanelle is in an infant is located where? For number 17, which one would it be? Fantastic. It is B. It is between the frontal and the parietal bones. So this is what we would call the soft spot. Number 18, which hormone directly stimulates osteoclast activity? Again, osteoclasts are going to break down bone. And when we break down bone, we increase calcium in our bloodstream. So what hormone is responsible for that? Fantastic. It is B. It is parathyroid hormone. Parathyroid hormone, or PTH. This is going to increase our blood calcium by stimulating our osteoblasts. The other one is that works oppositely. It's calcitonin. Essentially, what this does is this stimulates oblast activity, and that decreases calcium in the blood. All right. Moving on to number 19. The axial skeleton consists of how many bones? The axial skeleton consists of how many bones? If you got the last answer right, drop a bone down in the comments. Thank you guys for all the likes in the live, all the sharing, and all the follows. We'll be going live every single day, covering anatomy and physiology topics, and we'll be posting the replay to YouTube. And then on my website, you can find all my resources, or you can send me a message via my service button in the bottom left corner, and I can help direct you to the resources that you need, or answer any questions outside of the live stream afterwards. The axial skeleton has, so again, we're referring to our axial skeleton. Our axial skeleton has 80. So across our skull, our vertebrae, our ribs, our sternum, and our hyoid, we get 80 bones. The total number of bones in an adult skeleton is 206. So this is the total number of bones. So how do we get from 80 to 200? We need another 126, and those 126 come from the appendicular skeleton. And 86 is just not relevant. So again, we have 126 for the appendicular, 206 is the total, and 80 is for our axial skeleton. Number 20, what is the function of Sharpey's fibers? But this is, again, axial. Are these good questions? Are these guys helping you kind of learn a little bit more and review? The answer choice to number 20 is B. You're going to anchor the periosteum to underlying bone. So they secure the connective tissue in bone. Connecting the ligaments bone, again, not their role. Transport nutrients, that's blood vessels. Nutrients are transported via the blood vessels. And enabling synovial fluid movement, that would not be related either. Number 21, in adults, red marrow is primarily located in where? Where is red marrow primarily located? The answer is C. It is the spongy bone of flat bones. So in adults, red marrow, which is responsible for hematopoiesis, giving us our red blood cells, and blood cells in general. With erythropoiesis, it's for red blood cells. But this is mainly in the spongy bone of flat bones like the sternum, the ribs, the pelvis, the vertebrae as well. The diaphysis, that mostly contains yellow marrow. The medullary cavity is what houses that yellow marrow in the diaphysis of long bones. The epiphyseal line is our growth plate. But number 22, the articulation between the atlas and the axis allows for what? The articulation, particularly it is our atlantoaxial joint. It's between C1 and C2. Fantastic. Thanks, guys, for 6K likes on the live stream. You guys are awesome. Number 22, the articulation between the atlas and the axis allow for B. It is rotation of the head. This is what is going to allow you for, in a way, no motion. Nodding yes is what's called your atlanto-occipital joint. Lateral inflection involves multiple vertebrae, extension of the neck. That's a general cervical action. It's not, again, includes multiple vertebrae. It's not specific to the atlantoaxial joint. Number 23, which structure is found only in the thoracic vertebrae? Which structure is only found in the thoracic vertebrae? Thanks for the follows, guys. I really appreciate it. Welcome in. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. It's always good to see you guys. I always love seeing the familiar faces and love seeing new faces. But we go live every day. I've been tutoring anatomy for 5 years now. I love doing these live streams. They're always so much fun to do. But number 23, what structure is only found in the thoracic vertebrae? That is B. It is our costal facets. Basically, this allows them to articulate with the ribs. The transverse foramen, that is found on cervical vertebrae. The spinous process, this is on all vertebrae. And the vertebral foramen is also on all vertebrae as well. Let me move this to the side. Oops. All right, moving on to number 24. A fracture that pierces the skin is classified as what kind of fracture? Watch only 2 of your lives before taking my T's Pass the Science section first try. Thanks. Awesome. Congratulations, Zeth. Awesome. If we could get a congratulations in the chat, that would be awesome. Congratulations on passing your T's. That's incredible. Not sure to see this is fun. Awesome. I'm glad this is fun. Yeah, I would definitely love you get a congratulations in chat. That's awesome. Congratulations. But anyway, back to number 24. A fracture that pierces the skin is known as a compound fracture. A compound fracture essentially is what we refer to as an open fracture that breaks through the skin. A simple fracture is closed. Green stick, this is an incomplete fracture. This is mostly in children. These are where the bone is shattered into pieces. This may or may not pierce the skin, but this is essentially referring to when the bones are shattered into multiple pieces. All right, we're going to move on. If you got that right, put a bone down in the comment. We're on the skeletal system for the Hezi and T's and undergraduate anatomy today. We're going to move on to number 25. Which anatomical term describes the rounded end of a bone that articulates with another bone? Awesome, awesome. Thanks for liking and sharing the live, everybody. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. I hope you guys are all doing well and your anatomy courses are going well. Just aced my first lab exam today. Let's go, K-Dub. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's incredible. Lab exams are always just like rough. That's just like, they're always just like a bunch of material just thrown at you. But 25, the anatomical term for a rounded bone end is a condyle. So the condyle is, like we said, that's the smooth, rounded articular surface, like at the femur or our mandible. The fossa is a depression. The tubercle is it's like a rounded bump, particularly to function as a muscle attachment. And the crest, that is like a prominent ridge, so it's not articular. Number 26, osteogenesis imperfecta is caused by a defect in what? Osteogenesis imperfecta is caused by a defect in what? Thank you. Yeah, no problem, K-Dub. Awesome. Keep up the good work. Definitely keep up the good work. I actually also posted a video on my TikTok recently. It's not the most recent one. It's the second most recent one. If you would comment anything that you kind of like want a video on, that's what I'm using right now to like answer questions and whatnot and make videos for you guys. So if anything you want an extra detail, definitely go there as well. Or my little service button down in the bottom left corner. Take a look at that. But the answer is C. It is collagen synthesis. So it's a genetic disorder caused by defective type 1 collagen. Essentially, this is going to weaken the bone. Calcium absorption, not a primary cause. Vitamin D metabolism would be for rickets. And then parathyroid hormone secretion, or PTH secretion, this is regulated to our calcium regulation, not our collagen. Number 27 now that we are on, which of the following is a function of the skeletal system not directly related to its structure? Not directly related to its structure. Awesome, awesome. The answer is our blood cell production. So hematopoiesis is in the red marrow. It's a physiological function, so it's not a structural function. So we're referring to not directly related to structure. We are talking about some sort of process or physiology, not anatomy. Again, the structure of a bone is meant for, its anatomy. Hematopoiesis is a physiological process in our red bone marrow. That is why it's not directly related to structure. Number 28, the glenoid cavity is part of what? The glenoid cavity is part of what? But again, protection of organs, movement, and mineral storage. These are all structural functions. Awesome. Just hit 7,000 likes on the live. You guys are awesome. You guys are killing the like button. You guys are killing the answers. You guys are awesome. Definitely keep it up. I appreciate when you guys do like it and share it. It does just get it out. It just helps push it out to more people so we can help as many people as possible this summer with their accelerated course. Number 28, the glenoid cavity is part of B. It is the scapula. So the glenoid cavity on the scapula is going to articulate with the head of our humerus. So that's the purpose of that. The clavicle articulates with the sternum and the acromion. The humerus articulates with the sglenoid. So the humerus articulates with the glenoid, which is part of the scapula. And the sternum is not involved in the shoulder. That's in our rib cage. All right, moving on to number 29. Which of the following pairs is correct for its bone classification? Which of the following is correctly paired? Thank you guys for all the follows. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Always love seeing the new faces. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys being here. We are on number 29 now. I'll be going live every single day, covering anatomy and physiology topics that you guys request. Tomorrow, we'll be doing the integumentary system at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, bro. No, thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys being here. I think, yeah, at least tomorrow. Or tomorrow we might go at, let's see. Might go at 6:30 tomorrow. Eastern Standard Time. They're normally at 1 p.m. tomorrow, but I do have a meeting at 1 p.m., so I won't be able to do it. The live streams, they kind of range anywhere between 30 and like 75. Today is, I have 48, 50-ish questions today. I have some labeling questions at the end. Number 29, the correct answer is D. If you got it right, drop down the bone in the comments section, but the patella with the sesamoid bone. So the patella is our classic sesamoid bone. That's essentially a flat bone that's more so surrounded and formed in tendons. The metacarpal and short metacarpals have long bones. The sternum is not an irregular bone. This is a flat bone. And then the vertebrae is an irregular bone. Patella is a sesamoid bone because it is formed within the tendons. Number 30, bone remodeling is a process that involves what? All right, so the answer for number 30 is B. So bone remodeling is where we have osteoblasts and osteoclasts working in balance. So bone homeostasis, essentially the right amount of the specific amount of calcium in the blood, and that's stored in your bones and forms your bones, depends on the balance. Osteoclast replacing cartilage, that's referring to ossification, not remodeling. Endosteum thickening, that's not a remodeling process. Yellow to red marrow, that's rare, very unrelated as well to remodeling. So bone remodeling is the process of osteoblasts and osteoclasts working at the same time in balance to balance the calcium levels in your blood and what's being stored as your bone to form new bone and break down old bone. Number 31, which of the following best describes the type of joint found in the distal ends of the radius and the ulna? The joint between the distal radius and the ulna. So when we're referring to distal is going to be, so we have our radius and our ulna. And let's just say this is our person. This is our humerus. This would be the proximal end, which would be at our elbow. So our distal end, which is further from the point of attachment, is going to be at our wrist. It's going to be a syndesmosis. That's a fibrous joint with ligaments like the interosseous membrane, so at our wrist. A hinge would be at the elbow. Pivot is proximal radial ulnar. Gomphosis, that's our teeth. Number 32, the annular ligament stabilizes which type of joint movement? Awesome, we just hit 8,000 likes on the live. Thank you guys. Thanks for all the follows as well. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for following. If you're new here, we'll be going live every single day covering anatomy and physiology topics that you guys request. We're on number 32 now. The annular ligament stabilizes. B, it is the rotation at the proximal radial ulnar joint. So this encircles the head of the radius, allowing for rotation, which is our pronation and our, so we have our pronation and our supination. We're going to move on to number 33. The menisci of the knee joint are composed of what type of tissue? What type of tissue? The menisci of the knee are composed of what? The answer is B. It is our fibrocartilage. So menisci cushion and stabilize the knee. That's going to consist of fibrocartilage. Again, hyaline cartilage is going to be for articular surfaces. Elastic cartilage is kind of like in our ear and our epiglottis. And the synovial membrane, that's going to be producing our fluid, not our menisci. 34, which joint type allows for biaxial movement such as flexion and extension, abduction and adduction, but not rotation? Yeah, this is oh, I missed a question. Oh, 32, sorry. I didn't see your question. My bad. It's B. But again, yep, this will be uploaded to YouTube. I have the link in my bio as well. Number 34, which joint type allows for biaxial movement, such as all those movements? I mentioned the answer is A. It is our saddle joint, which is like at our thumb. So it allows movement in two different planes. Ball and socket is a triaxial joint. So this is triaxial. The plane joint is gliding. And the pivot joint is uniaxial, which is the rotation that we talked about earlier. Number 35, which of the following joints is correctly matched with its functional classification? Thank you guys so much for 9,000 likes on the live. That is incredible. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for following and sharing the live as well. I always love to see new faces around here. We'll be going live every day, and we'll be uploading the replay to YouTube, so you can watch back at your own pace. But number 35, the answer is C. It is the atlantoaxial joint. That's our diarthrosis. So this is going to be a pivot type synovial joint. I mean, it's freely movable. Sutures are immovable. So these are wrong. Pubic symphysis, these are slightly mobile. And same thing with intervertebral joints. They're only slightly movable. 36, which ligament prevents the hyperextension of the knee joint? Which ligament prevents the hyperextension of the knee joint? I'll give you guys just another moment to answer. Number 36, the answer is D. It is our ACL, our anterior cruciate ligament, or ACL. That prevents anterior displacement of the tibia and hyperextension. The MCL is going to be for lateral stress. This is going to prevent a posterior cruciate ligament, posterior tibial translation, and then the lateral meniscus is for cushioning. Not necessarily like any sort of restraint. Moving on to number 37, which of the following is a synovial joint that is functional uniaxial? Which of the following is a synovial joint that is functional uniaxial? Awesome, guys. Thanks for 10K likes on the live. You guys are awesome. Fantastic answers, guys. 37, the answer is B. It is the elbow joint. So a hinge joint allows for motion in one axis. That is our flexion plus our extension. Answer choice A, our CMC joint of our thumb. This is a saddle, meaning that it is biaxial. The temporomandibular joint, this is modified with our hinge joint with some sliding. And the sternoclavicular joint, this is a plane and gliding joint. All right. Number 38. Gymphosis is an example of which structural type of joint? So think about our gymphosis type joint type. That is referring to the teeth in the socket. It's going to give us answer choice B. It is fibrous. The other ones are the incorrect joint types. Number 39, what factor is least likely to contribute to joint stability? Least likely to prevent for joint stability. Yep, gymphosis like our teeth, yes. That is absolutely correct. So this is going to be answer choice C, the presence of synovial fluid. Synovial fluid is for lubrication. So we're lubricating the joint. In terms of its stability, we're stabilizing it. The shape, the strength, and the tone of surrounding muscles are what's going to stabilize. Synovial fluid, again, is for lubrication. Last question here, and then we'll do some labeling. I use this myself. 40, which joint type allows for elevation and depression movements of the scapula? And I have some labeling down here that we can do real quick together. Last question here for last multiple choice question. Which joint allows for elevation and depression movements of the scapula? The answer is C. It is the sternoclavicular joint. This is the only bony connection between the arm and the axial skeleton, allowing for scapular movements. The glenohumeral, this is for shoulder. The acromioclavicular joint, so this is going to be for like gliding. It's a cis, yes, but again, not primary. And then the scapulothoracic articulation is not a true joint. Then I have some labeling questions here. I drew this pretty picture. It comes from my Chapter 7 notes, my website. I have these labeled here. We can go over these together real quick. But I have labeling. We're going to go over the skull bones. These are our skull bones. Number 1. And again, there are some repeats in here. So if you're like, oh, well, I already answered that one, that's why. There are repeat ones in here. So we'll roll through this real quick. Number 1. What is number 1? What bone is that? Fantastic. It is the parietal bone, guys. Awesome. Number 2. What is number 2? It's like kind of the blue section down here. The blue section. Fantastic. It is the occipital. Number 3. Let's move on to number 3. What is number 3? Give you guys a moment to answer. Fantastic, fantastic. It is the frontal. How about number 4? Let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is the sphenoid. Number 5. Can we get number 5? Number 5 is referring to the sides of the skull. Number 5, awesome, is temporal. How about number 6? Pulling up to number 6. I might see some repeats in the last couple here, but I just want to make sure we're looking at certain bones from different angles and whatnot. Awesome, it is number 6. Parietal, awesome. Number 7. What is number 7? Last 2 here, guys. Last 2. Number 7. Number 7 is temporal. Awesome. You guys are killing it. And then last one, number 8. Number 8 is our occipital. Awesome, guys. So that was it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. Again, can't imagine pronouncing some of these words. That's all right. Again, the replay will be on YouTube. My YouTube is my name. It's linked in my bio. My notes are also linked in my bio, as well as my practice questions. I have the service button down in the bottom left corner if you want to reach out and you need some help finding these resources. But thank you guys for being here. Truly, you guys are thanking me, but thank you for being here. I couldn't do it without you guys. I love doing these live streams. They're always so much fun. Tomorrow... I'll probably do it for tutoring. Yep, you can actually reach out. So for tutoring, I have that, like, you can either email me, or the service button. Let me see if I can pin it here. Pin it, quick notice. Let me pin. You can hit that button. When is pharmacology? Yeah, these I drew myself, so I haven't gotten banned. So I tested it out at the end of the live stream, so hopefully I can try to do some more labeling. But I will have a YouTube video coming up on this as well. But tomorrow we are going to go live. I can go live at 1 tomorrow. Tomorrow will probably be like 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the integumentary system. These were a little more in-depth questions today, and then Friday will be pharmacology. The time I was TBD on pharmacology. I start in 5 days. I'll start crying today. How can I get alerts to your live? Basically, you go to my profile, and there is a bell notification button, and you can set it for a notification when I'm live, and then also when I post on TikTok as well. If we're interested, I'm willing to do another live stream later on today, guys. I went in some like moderately difficult questions today. I could definitely come in tomorrow. I've been wanting to go over integumentary system and endocrine system. Awesome. If you guys want another live stream later today, I'm definitely willing to. Send me a message. I would make it a little easier. I know these were a little more in-depth questions. But we can do like more easier questions, overview questions. If that's what we're interested in. We're interested for some more easier questions, overview questions for you guys. I enrolled for AP2 and Farm Together fall semester. Should I probably not do this? Well, you can do it. Do I recommend it? Not all the time. They're both a lot of material. I definitely think A&P should be your hardest class, but it's definitely possible for sure. When I took A&P, I took exercise, phys, and stats and English and stuff. This was a little more in-depth material. Just slightly. Not easy, but not too hard. More so just like kind of straight up questions. A little more. You'd have to know an overview of the skeletal system to kind of answer the questions from today. Yeah, I'm not going to do that together. Yeah, when I had pharmacology, I had it separately. I did have cardiovascular physiology at the same time, and it was definitely pretty brutal. My summer session is from June 2nd to July 31st. Oh no. That's like almost the whole summer. That's like the fun months of summer, June through July. And then Friday, pharmacology. Saturday and Sunday, the topics are to be determined. I do have that like Service Plus button. You can send me a topic request as well. Whatever kind of gets requested. Oh, somehow I still have time to drop. No. I'm not telling you to drop out. I think summer semesters are harder and they're faster. And I shouldn't say they're harder. They're just faster, which makes it hard. But if that's kind of like the only class you're taking, it really allows you to focus on it. It would have been so nice, like when I had anatomy and physiology, like I had other classes, and anatomy and physiology was just so much work that I was annoyed by doing my other classes. Like anytime I was doing my stats homework, I was just always ticked off. Erlen says, don't drop, it'll be worth it. Mine was nights and loved it. Awesome. It's definitely worth it, honestly. Like if it's like, if you can really focus on anatomy this summer, if that's the only class you're taking this summer, definitely like you'll probably have a pretty good time. As long as you stay consistent. Especially when it comes to summer, I definitely think like previewing lectures and your textbook before class. In class, not taking notes because it's going to go fast. And then immediately after class, going in and like making your notes after class using the notes from class and annotations that your professor was talking about. And then review. Really quick questions here before we get going. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos today. In my second most recent video, it's like a video where like I was asking what are you nervous about for anatomy and physiology? I'm going to be making a lot of videos based on what goes on there in the comment section. I'm going to try to reply to every comment there. So if there's anything that you want to see video-wise, that is definitely the best place to do it right now if you want to see stuff from me on it. Just free. I love doing video requests. I try to get out as many as possible just to make anatomy and physiology is just as accessible as possible and personable and engaging. But were there any other quick questions here before I get going? We might do another live stream later on in the day. Kind of depends. We might do skeletal system. Might just do like like another anatomy and physiology like overview. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Any quick questions here before I get going? What about today? So today I will be posting more videos on TikTok about questions that came from my second most recent video. There may be another live stream later on today that would cover more skeletal system questions and potentially just more anatomy and physiology 1 questions in general today. It just kind of depends. This was what I had scheduled today, so if I get time, I will. If I have the time. All right, I will get going. Any just quick questions? You can always DM me, send me an email. I'm more than happy to answer and get in contact with you. But any other quick questions? Thank you guys for joining. I always love doing these live streams. Thank you guys for participating. Thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. I will hopefully see you in tomorrow's live stream. If not, I will see you hopefully in another one. But awesome. See you guys.